Hey everyone, here's a participant session where Vagrein discusses at depth relationships with animals. Please enjoy.
I would like to start with my horse Jack, and we had an accident last year, and I believe he either stepped on my face or kicked me. He was running away from a deer. I know there's a lot more to it, but I was wondering what he's got going on right now. He lives with a herd, at home with me. We interact daily, but I don't ride him yet. They did tell me 2 days ago, I think it was him telling me, "You need a different horse." And I was wondering if my intuition was correct on that.
Yes, indeed. This being does care for you deeply and is having the very understandable emotion of what can be or would be, in human terms, be perceived of as guilt or trepidation, even fear of self in some ways. So, in the interaction that you have, because it is an intimate relationship, you can imagine also how you would feel if you had accidentally hurt someone that you love deeply. It will take time for these emotions to clear and a rebuilding of that relationship, a understanding that it is time for him to forgive himself as well. Even though you have, of course, and do have a position to be able to be in a space of forgiveness. In fact, in your case, there was not even anything to forgive. In this now moment, however, because of this emotion that he is feeling, and because his request is that you, if you do desire to ride, to experience that with another horse, it might be worth looking into that option while simultaneously mending or recreating that state of harmony that was before the accident. Was there more that you would like to know for this topic?
I had a dream last night that one of my other horses that belonged to my husband just keeled over dead. And I was wondering if that was precognition or maybe some other area of my life.
It is not precognition in the ways that you are thinking, nor is it another area of your life. It is you processing as well the connections that you have with these beings that has been in some way shaken. There is deep love there, and simultaneously a aspect of you that has both fear of loss, fear of inevitable, eventual experiences with these beings, and your non-physical or subconscious mind is allowing you to have the ability to process some of these feelings in anticipation or beforehand. So, if that dream made you feel sad, do not experience the sadness in the way that you are asking, like, is this precognition? Does this mean that my horse is about to die? But instead, you can choose to experience the sadness simply as what it is, energy passing through you. In the experiencing of this sadness in advance, this can be the case in any moment in life. And what it is actually is your emotional guidance system showing you that sadness is the flip side of the coin of love. If you allow this sadness through, or this fear through, or whatever emotion this has stimulated within you through, now you do have more access to that love and appreciation for your animals, but also for your experience with them in this now moment. Does this help?
She actually was my husband's horse who passed away, and all of his animals have died since. She's the last one. And so I was just like, whoa, where'd that come from? She's older, but very healthy.
Yes.
That's why I was like, whoa, that's surprising.
Yes, your mind has
Um,
locked onto her as a symbol. not
Yes.
necessarily the energy of that animal. As you know, everything is connected, but in this particular dream, that was the easiest point of reference for you to be able to have the experience of the dream. That was at the right dosage of you, in fact, as it is what you are considering your husband's horse and not necessarily something that is closer in proximity to you or someone, some being. Then it is easier for you to go, okay, well, she is older. And also, this is not my closest relationship, etc. So it is your guidance showing you where you hold love and what you perceive of with the transition of these animals from physical to non-physical.
So I have another question actually about my land or the property.
Yes?
My husband was a hoarder. He passed away 2 years ago. And I like to clear things out.
Yes?
I like to clean them up. I do land healing and really try to clear spaces. And I had a lot of trouble. Everything he had here that I got rid of seemed to put up a fight.
Yes.
And is it his energy still processing, or what would be the reason that I felt so ineffective at shifting the energy? But
Yes,
I'm
it
good at doing
is
for other
the
people.
energy that originally motivated the collecting or the hoarding in the first place. There is the energy and consciousness of all objects as well. You do know this. And the misunderstanding that in the having more, there is safety, or in the keeping just in case, there is safety, which is often the case for hoarders, not for all, of course. And in your connection with him, that aspect of him was with you during this process. So, more so than you being in a space of saying to yourself, I cannot let this go, there may have been some subconscious residue saying, he could not let this go. And in the holding on to it for maybe those 5 minutes longer, or that day longer, or that week longer, you felt in some ways to be honoring that aspect. So yes, it was an energetic game that was being played, or is being played, because there are still aspects that are perhaps wanting to be cleared, or you would like to clear. But do not fret too much. It is another part of that beautiful game. It was required for you to have that resistance in order for you to, in part, also allow and help him to heal anything that he was continuing to connect with his physical experience.
They say that animals can come through the same soul multiple times. I have a dog called Comet. Does it resonate with a horse? I think he might be a horse that I had called Cautious. Does that seem like it might be the same soul?
Yes.
He seems very familiar.
In that often your animals are, especially domestic animals, but yes, also ones that you encounter in the wild, if it is a repeated relationship of the encountering of these animals. But often your domestic animals come to you as an aspect, a guide that has chosen to incarnate, to be in physical proximity with you without violating your free will. Therefore, when people say, this is my emotional support animal, or they say, this is my guide, or it is a familiar, they are recognizing this relationship that bridges the physical and non-physical realms. So it is entirely possible and observable that you may have an animal that is exactly the same energetic frequency as a previous animal, because it is that guide choosing on more than one occasion during your physical incarnation to be with you in physical form. Of course, there are limitations to that physical form, and that being is also effective in their non-physical versions, but they do come for that journey, for that period, to be with you specifically. This is also why it is often the case that when an animal does come to the end of its physical existence, it will not let go until its owner understands or decides that it is time to end that suffering, or it is time to help that animal to transition because they have not come for themselves. They have come to be your companion.
That sounds right to me.
Thanks so much for watching that session. I really hope you enjoyed it, and please leave me a comment below to let me know. Make sure also to like and subscribe to get more Vagrein content, and please watch this video next.